All right, now we're going to get into some NBA news. Scottie Pippen, the man of controversy these past few years, and he's been, quite frankly, he's been getting on my nerves. I don't know about you, Stephen, but I'm tired of hearing the guy.
I mean, well, that was what year did The Last Dance come out? Was that 2020 or a little after 2020? Was that during a
Yeah.
little bit after COVID? Somewhere
Hmm.
that time. Ever since that came out, I don't know what's going on with the guy. I mean, he got Michael Jordan's son dating his ex, and I guess that just vendetta to go against Michael and just blather all kind of crazy stuff out of his mouth.
I didn't think about that being a cause of
Yeah.
it.
But I guess you're a little salty that you lost your woman to your teammate's son. So, but like I said, I told you we joked, off camera that I would blame CTE, but Scotty's not a football player; he's a basketball player, and I don't think he took that many hits. So I guess his dreads or twists or whatever he got going on with his latest hairstyle might be a little too tight.
Yeah, but in this interview he did on Valuetainment, first, the parts that really got to me, or the one part that really got to me, was how he went into, and I know Pat Bed David asked some questions about Jordan, but come on, man, you know who Jordan is at this point. He's a competitor. He isn't there to make friends with everyone on the team. He wants to win. Kobe was the same way, and to a great extent, LeBron is the same way. All of the greats are this way, and you take it personal because Jordan didn't, I guess, go out with you to eat, or didn't hang out with you off the court, and I don't get it. I mean, even Jordan said he wouldn't have won without Scottie. So why are you being salty? I mean, come on, man. You got 6 rings. You should be happy that you got those six, and you couldn't do it without Jordan either. I hate to say it, but whatever. Like you said, he's just salty. The last dance, and the other part of it is that he lost his woman to Jordan's son, which I didn't consider.
I mean, like I said, if it was if he was any common sense in what he was saying, then I can maybe. But everything he said, like you literally can't think in your right mind that you really making sense.
Right.
I'm like, how do you think that is even logical? That's what I'm looking for. How you think even logical to? I mean, let's say for Jordan to give you the stamp of approval of saying you was a good teammate and that he needed you to win those 6 titles. I'm happy with that
Mhm.
because I mean, hey, I could have been a high draft pick or whatever the case may be. I could be Charles Barkley and not have no titles. I mean, that's your youth, and the list goes on. So for you to down the man and talk trash about the man every chance you get, just because he wasn't your running mate or your buddy off the basketball court, I mean, what does it matter? What does it matter?
Right. You're about to say something.
Just to echo what you said about Kobe. I mean, there's times Kobe didn't like a lot of his teammates. He just wanted to make sure they was what it needed to be and deliver on the court in order to win. He cared less about you off the court. So I mean, I'm pretty sure. I mean, he might have been a little more personable than Jordan, but I mean, that just like I said, that's just in that killer instinct with certain players.
Right.
And I mean, LeBron got a little of LeBron will get you traded if you don't like you.
D'Angelo.
Poor fella, man, got traded twice, but yeah, but the greats, in those days, where super teams wasn't a thing, it wasn't even thought of.
Mhm.
So to have somebody like, hey, I didn't. This one player is my running mate on the court, and we need him to win. And like I said, I think he had a little. Even he was being a diva back in the playing days when he wanted to go a new contract. And he said, I think it was in the Last Dance documentary where Michael had to go talk to him like, hey, get your butt back on the court so we can do what we need to do.
Yeah.
So I mean, I guess I don't know. In his head, he was more of a. I mean, he was a respectable player, Hall of Famer, multi-time all-star, multi-time champion, but the bash, the greatest of all time, in my opinion, is absolutely ridiculous.
Agreed. And even to make it even more worse, by no means am I a LeBron fan. I can't stand the guy, and I think he's a big contributor to why the NBA is the way it is today. But for Scottie to sit there and claim he is better than LeBron,
I mean, no, I can't even like I said. I'm not the biggest LeBron fan. We both know this, but you can't take away what a guy accomplished on the court and his skill level. I mean, Scotty, if Scotty in his prime versus LeBron in his prime, I think majority of people who know an ounce of basketball, is taking LeBron every single time.
breathe.
I don't see how, yeah, how you even compare yourself to one of the all-time leading scorer in NBA history at the moment. Granted, he took him 20 years to get to that point.
Yeah.
But you really think you're better than the all-time leading scorer of the NBA? Come on, Scotty. But
Oh,
from one delusional player to the Knicks, I guess that's what they call a segue. Let's segue into Mr. Jimmy Butler, who's, for lack of a better term, has an interesting past month and a half.
yes.
It kind of started off with him asking for a trade. Then he was suspended January 3rd for multiple instances of conduct detrimental to the team, whatever that means. All right, he served his suspension. Then we hear that he's coming out. I think that game against the Magic, or I can't remember what team he was coming back from. But he came back off his 7-game suspension and was supposed to be in the starting lineup after serving 7-game suspensions. And not long after that, this guy decided to say, "Hey, I ain't getting on a team flight. I'll make these guys wait." And he's currently serving another 2-game suspension. It's technically only so far it's been 2 games, but we anticipate it probably he probably won't step foot on the court again, in my opinion. But like I say, I don't get this guy. I really don't. I mean, he has a history of asking for trades. As we know, he's asked for trades in the past. I mean, his longest tenure with the team is a team that drafted him was the Bulls. He played for the Bulls from 2011 to 2017. Then was traded to the T-Wolves. He played 1 year with the T-Wolves and made it blatantly clear, "Hey, I'm not resigning with y'all. Get me out of town." Sent him to the 76ers, where he played for also 1 year, and couldn't, I guess there was bump heads with him and Joel Embiid. Could never get on the same page to get that chemistry right. So traded once again to the Heat, which he's currently with since 2019.
Yeah.
Now, I mean, this guy at the time, his prime, I mean, outside of Kawhi Leonard, you could say Jimmy probably was the best 2-way player, but like Kawhi, I mean, he had injury issues.
Mm-hmm.
So, like I say, he's a good player, but I think his time in Miami is done. And I think Pat Riley need to get off his high horse and just get rid of the guy, because he's just going to bring more publicity that's not good publicity to the team that you probably won't.
Agreed. Unfortunately, or fortunately, however you look at it, Pat Riley is like the leftover remnant of David Stern.
Yeah.
And I don't think that's a battle that he is going to allow Jimmy to win. It's funny. I didn't think we were going to cover this, even with that first suspension. But then when I wake up on Friday morning and see where he's suspended again, like, okay, this is becoming an issue, and now it's basically him versus Pat Riley. And I guarantee you, this 2-game suspension. I didn't look into it, but I believe it's suspension without pay.
Oh, I mean, that could be a possibility. But let's say, I mean, I don't think Jimmy hurt for money, because
Well,
if that's the case, he's been on the court playing. But I mean, he asked for a trade. His preferred destination. Now get this: are the Phoenix Suns, Dallas Mavericks, Houston Rockets, and Golden State Warriors. All right now, I think are pretty much playoff teams.
Mhm.
I don't see him fitting with neither one of those teams. If
No.
we're being honest.
Well, you think about it. If you were a coach, if you were a head coach with whatever team you got have going on, it could be a team that desperately needs help. And I mean desperately. Considering how toxic Jimmy Butler has been with every team he's been on, would you consider picking him up if the trade opportunity presented itself?
No, and like I said, he's technically in his last year of this guaranteed contract. So you really just be like, quote, unquote, renting him. Because if you want to test free agency afterwards, then I'd be like, okay, I just got to pay this guy for half a season to ultimately think he's a missing piece to try to win the championship. But if if you're not really to rent him, then I wouldn't waste my time trading for him because, like I said, what the Heat want in return is kind of asking for a lot. They want a combination of players who will help them win now, draft capital, and movable short-term salary and young talent. I don't think teams giving up, a lot of young talent, giving up draft capital. Like I said, I don't know what I mean, you giving up a first round pick for Jimmy Butler, or
No, no
you
way.
you can't. So I think the Heat demands might need to come down to a little more manageable situations if they want him gone. But 'cause I don't think you're giving up players. You ain't trading no young talent for Jimmy. Like I said, he's only in last year's contract. You pretty much rent him.
Mhm.
Like I said, he was. Like I said, last year of his contract, he's has a player option of next year for 52 million if he's. But like I said, that's if he say, hey, whoever I get traded to, yeah, we'll play one more year, then we can negotiate, my contract extension. But I don't, like I said, if you're not one of his teams that he's playing, that he listed, the Mavs, the Suns, the Rockets, and the Warriors, like I said, I don't get it. Like I said, he was eligible for a 2-year extension, I think, a couple years ago,
Mhm.
but the Heat elected to resign him based on his playing time, his availability playing time. And,
Yeah.
like I said, who's going to invest that kind of money into a player who's only playing, from between 40 and 60% of games. So
Right. And I know initially around the first suspension, they were talking about Bradley Beal. I guess the Suns might have wanted him, but now that's not the case. I think what I heard this morning, if this is correct, that the Bucks may have more interest in Bradley Beal because of their Middleton situation.
now Bradley Beal to go along with Dame and Giannis. Ooh, that's a scary combination. 'Cause I
Yeah.
really don't think he fit in with the Suns with David Booker and KD.
Yeah.
Because like I said, it's just a weird dynamic. They don't have a true point guard to kind of spread the ball out anyway.
Hmm.
So they kind of forcing. Like I said, I don't care what I say. David Booker is not a point guard. He's a two
No.
guard. I would die
Hmm.
on the hill. Folks, if you want to come at me in the comments. But Devin Booker is not a point guard. He's a two. And don't give me this crap that KD can play the point. KD is special, but you night in, night out, you can't have KD at the point.
Right.
Your offense is not going to flow correctly with KD constantly at the point. And Bradley Beal is, like I said, another two guard, three guard slash player who they're trying to kind of force into that point
Hmm.
position. That's it's not working. Well, I mean, like Jimmy Butler, you go in. I mean, it's already and with the Suns anyway. He already fit that kind of that same role. So why would you? That don't make sense. The Mavs got Luca, Kyrie. I don't see. I mean, if he can not be a diva and not
Hmm.
demand shots and go out there and play defense, rebound, I can see him with the Mavs. But I don't think Mark Cuban is dealing with that drama and that attitude personally. Rockets a young team. Why mess with your chemistry? And why give
Right.
up? Why give up some of your young players to get a player who probably won't resign with you. Everybody want to play with Steph, so I can't get mad at him for wanting to go go to the Warriors. But
No, I think
I can see
Steph's
him and
yeah.
go
Uh,
ahead.
well, I think Steph kind of squashed that because I don't know if you heard about Steph's comments about looking into the future, not being quick to make decisions for the right now, but looking like 5 or 10 years down the road. I think that kind of squashed any chance of Jimmy Butler going there.
Was that probably him and Draymond wouldn't last long anyway. I can see them two getting at it.
Yeah.
But it's be interesting to say, like I said, see how long this suspension lasts. And I think in the not NFL, NBA trade line is like February the 6th.
Yeah.
So he got a couple weeks to hash that out, or I guess just see out the rest of his contract this year and become a free agent at the end of this year. Let's see how Mr. Pat Riley wants to play it.
Yeah. Another possibility, and this will be the last thing I have to say on this, it's a very slim possibility because pretty much trading toxic for unproduction or non-production. But Zion, clearly he needs to be with an organization that can challenge him to, stay the path, get healthy, and stay on that path. And I believe him under Pat Riley would work out because Pat Riley would consistently hold him accountable. And, if New Orleans wanted Jimmy Butler, then I don't know how that will work out, but I did hear that is a possibility also.
I mean, I can see, like I said, but I don't know. Do you trust Zion, who can't stay healthy, can't
Nope.
stay in shape, playing in New Orleans, to go down to Miami, the party city, or capital of the South, pretty much,
Good point.
and for him to stay out of trouble playing in the channel my Stephen A. South Beach? That this guy's going down to South Beach to actually play basketball. I don't know. I wish Zion the best. I thought he was supposed to be the next big thing coming out of college. We saw how that happened to Greg Oden and all the other guys that probably the next big thing. They didn't pan out. But I really had high hopes of Zion. He's a local, kind of semi-local to our area. But I mean, yeah, if the not the Hornets, the Pelicans want to give up the draft capital and the young talent and the salary, then go for it. Like I say, wash your hands with Zion, but like kind of like wash your hands and then go sticking it right back in mud. So
Yeah.
that's an interesting take on that. But we have to see how that play out because, like I said, New Orleans wasn't on his list, but the 14 that he preferred. But if you want out bad enough, I guess you go anywhere.
Yeah.